nothing is everlasting, no. But like really though, how do you know?
On November 3rd, 2023, it was my 3rd year anniversary of living in Mexico City, which is so crazy to say out loud. Time has flown by. I love this place with all my heart. I'm so grateful for the community I've been able to be a part of here, for the kindness that was shown to me here, to have been able to learn a new language and about this culture, and to have been embraced with such love by this culture. It is something I will forever be grateful for. My first time living out of the country, and I can honestly say it's been a dream, and I know that that's a privilege to say. And I'm very, very grateful. Very, very grateful. You know, people always ask me, like, do you plan to be there forever? Do you ever plan on going home? Do you ever plan on going back to LA? And, you know, for the longest time, the answer was like always no. I definitely am not planning to go back to LA anytime soon, and I don't know if I'm going to be here forever, but for now, this is the only place that I want to live. This is the only place that I want to call home, until I went to Japan. Visiting Tokyo was the first time since I moved here that I thought about wanting to live in another place, and I've been thinking about it ever since. I love Mexico City. Mexico City will always have take up a huge space in my heart. And I haven't made this decision yet, but yeah, like I said, it's the first time that it got me thinking about what my life could look like in other places. And, you know, there was something really special about going back to a place that was that's part of my heritage, and being able to experience that, being the first in my immediate family to experience that, and feeling like so aligned there. And there's part of me that wants to see like what life could look like there for me for real. So yeah, it's just got my brain thinking. I'm gonna finish my coffee, and then we can talk about it a little more. So as I was saying at the coffee shop, I feel very drawn to Japan and very connected to that place, obviously, but the spiritual alignment that I felt while I was there, I've never felt anywhere else. Like, I love Mexico City, like, to my bones, to my core. I love Mexico City down. Still, I hadn't experienced the feeling I felt in Japan here. I felt like there were so many ways that I was just, without words, understood in Japan, that I've never felt anywhere in the world. And I don't want to ignore that feeling. And I think that it's important to live in spaces where we do feel that alignment, where we do feel understood. Not that I don't feel understood here, or I didn't feel understood in LA, but it was just a different type of feeling that I can't really put words to. Like, an example I share often is, I am a pretty quiet person. Obviously, like, I talk a lot in my videos, but I am a very quiet person. I tend to like fall into the role of the listener in a lot of the conversations and dynamics in my life. And I like that. I like being the listener. I like being the observer. I don't want to ever be the loudest person in the room. And there are a lot of people who have made me feel like that is a negative trait. I think definitely growing up in the US, you're taught to make your presence known and to dominate conversations. And I have just never felt that way. And there have been times where I've felt bad that I don't have that trait within me. But then when I went to Japan and observed how everyone's quiet and everyone, like, there's just this peace and serenity, and it just, I felt for the first time understood, like, in that way. This is the type of environment that I feel like I could really thrive in and feel seen in. So it's been on my mind nonstop. It's been on my mind nonstop. And we'll see. But yeah, like I said before, I don't think that these are feelings that we should ignore. We only get one life, And I know that I would feel an immense amount of regret if I didn't try this for a little bit. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. And I need to go to my co-working space, but let's continue this conversation. I was having a conversation with my friend about comfort and how, depending on how you grew up, the environment you grew up in, your perspective on comfort will be different. Like, we grew up in kind of chaotic environments and we're constantly moving, so sometimes we interpret comfort as a bad thing. And so we were talking about that in terms of where we live, because he's actually moving, and he's like, I've been running my whole life and I have such a good life here, and I'm running, and now I'm questioning why. And I'm like, am I doing the same thing? Am I viewing the fact that I've gotten really comfortable here and I've built a really like safe and stable life as a bad thing? Or is it that I do really want to live in this other place? I think it could be a little bit of both. I am definitely someone who is comfortable with constantly moving and being on the go and chaos. Even though like Japan is the opposite of chaos, so I would be moving from comfort to, it'd be uncomfortable for a little bit, but I think that I would be very comfortable there. But yeah, that conversation got me thinking about making sure I really understand why I do the things I do, why I move the way I move. So I know there are a lot of thoughts in this video, but in summation, it's been 3 years in Mexico, 3 of truly the best years of my life. My love for this place like grows every day. And I've just like found another place that I also love. And so just thinking about all the things that would be involved with leaving this place and making sure it's actually something I want to do if I do it. So yeah, in the comments, I'd love to know how you feel about where you are right now in life. It could be physically or just emotionally. Are you comfortable with where you are? Is that a good thing? Have you outgrown where you are? Let me know down below. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, beautiful rest of your week. Thank you so much for showing up for me, for being patient with me. And as always, thank you for being here.